Hello, everybody. This is William Becker, and I'd like to welcome you to my January 2025 edition of my newsletter. I've been rather slug about getting these out lately, and I've been letting a few things percolate in my mind lately, and I thought instead of trying to put sense of to it all on paper, I'd try to do it in a little bit of a video and put it out that way. If any of you see this on my YouTube channel before the newsletter goes out, please open and read or check out the newsletter anyway. My friend Ender from Turkey has an article in it this time. It's really quite interesting, and um, I've got some updates about my current classes and that kind of stuff, as well as links to buy books and um, oh, whatever, quite a few things. So check that out when you get it anyway. Okay, I hope everybody has done well through the holidays. I know it's not always an easy time. And, you know, it's often what I find is when I start struggling, and if I look off strange, it's because that's how I think. Um, but if I'm struggling with issues or whatever in life, um, I find that sitting down and listing them out and then looking at solutions. Okay, this is the is. What are the realities? What do I need to do about it? In other words, start making a plan. And sometimes the answer is to get over myself and get on with it. That happens sometimes. At least I can feel sorry for myself for, stubbing my toe. It doesn't take anything major at times. Other times it does. But, and this all circles around and comes together, hopefully. But I think we need to stop and realize that we need to stay grounded and connected to ourself and to spend time in a practice. It doesn't have to be much time, but especially to start, meditation is a good practice. And meditation doesn't mean necessarily that you clear your mind. You recognize what's coming through, acknowledge it, and let it go. That's the thing. And for those with us on ADHD or with ADHD, it can be an interesting challenge letting go, especially if it's interesting. Um, but we can focus on an issue, on a question, on what it is we need to do. I mean, just so many things. And then a lot of times, what comes up too are feelings we might have about adequacy in whatever area that we're talking about. Or we notice, okay, these are areas I don't succeed in. Well, sometimes then what we need to do as part of this change is one, realize that we don't have to always be successful to attract or find people that are good partners on the journey. And we can um, develop more of a sense of self and wholeness and completeness. I'm not talking about visualization in the ways I've had it explained to me. I've tried that many times, and it's great for anybody that it works for. I haven't found it to work for me yet. Um, a lot of different things, but um, when we can keep focused on our true self, we start realizing more that we are on a path and a journey of our soul. And that's why we're here. And it's the continuation of that journey for our soul in this life and past lives, between lives, and if we have them, future lives. Um, some people are close, they don't need to come back. Um, and part of the way to do that is, for people like me anyway, is to remember to get rid of so many of the distractions. I found, especially since the epidemic and such, I spend far too much time on social media. And often it's looking at things that, well, the guest for my show next week is somebody I saw on Instagram who's a musician, an artist, um, fascinating person, does wonderful work. And so I reached out and he's on my show. Now, that's one of the benefits occasionally, but we need to, I think, stream down and cut out most of it. I find for me, it's shorting um, my abilities to concentrate for long periods, especially. Actually, that's a problem um, many universities are finding with students coming in. They can't read. They can't read anything that's complicated or is more than 3 pages long. I was listening to a professor talk about that just the other day on an NPR program, and we do this since this. The outside is showing a bit of what's going on inside too. We lose track and we lose the focus on how we should live or grow our life and how we should live as part of that. And I'm not saying there's what your set of moral standards should be or anything else. I'm just saying that we have to be in touch with ourselves and have good people around us, I think really helps. Um, that can love and support us and at least one or two people that can understand the journey a little bit, at least what we're talking about. And then keep growing. I was looking at one issue today and I was reminded that, we don't have to be perfect before we're ready to have somebody on the journey with us, whatever that journey might be. Um, Somebody with shared values and interests that in whatever the project or whatever the internal piece is, and and that's really important. I think we don't um, have to be all the way there to attract people that want more than just us to help them. Um, I hope I'm making some sense. I'm not sure if I am or not. But it's something to kind of think about a little bit. Take some of these pieces and odds and ends if you can, and um, think about them for what it means for you. Um, and if you need to, talk to doctors, get a therapist. I'm a firm believer in therapy. It has to be a good therapist. Um, that's a right fit. Not you can have a good therapist who's not a right fit, um, and you have to show up and do the work. It's not easy. Nobody has a magic wand to fix you. You have to be one. You have to. We're not needing to be fixed. We're needing to grow and to learn. And every human on earth needs to do that. It's part of a continuing process that we all have in common. Not the exact method of the process, but the need for it, that kind of growth. And everybody's in a different place. Everybody's in a different place in their incarnations. Their souls are in different places. Um, and that's all fine. It's just we need to get back in touch with each other and ourselves. And being in touch with each other can really help. And that is not something that's just done through video games and um, reading social media. I'm not saying don't do those things at all. Everybody's different. There are some values to a lot of it. I use it for marketing, and I've met a very few, but a few close personal friends that I've visited overseas, and I've met, um, or we talk often, had on the show, like I said before. So there's a lot that's possible, but we need to break away from all the distractions. And the more we can spend time appreciating ourselves, and valuing and loving ourselves, um, the less alone we feel, the less insecure we feel, the more real we feel about ourselves and what we're doing in our surroundings. We're more open to realizing, oh, wait, maybe better make some changes in my life, um, no matter if we want to or not. Um, and I'm speaking generally because I'm not saying all this is what I've been thinking about personally for me right now. Some of it is, not all of it. And um, it's important to have that. It doesn't mean we don't go out and have fun or do something too, but I'm saying we've got to stay in touch with ourselves and who we are and who we're becoming, um, and who we want to become. And are we taking the steps necessary to get from point A to point B? And if we need to, are we getting the guidance, the mentoring, the education, or whatever, the medical help, whatever it is, to assist us in taking those steps? Because those are all different, they're all important parts of our being. Anyway, I hope people haven't gotten totally lost or turned off by this. And I thank you very, very much for watching. And I hope you're all doing well. And have a wonderful 2025. I hope it's a good year for everybody. Take care. Bye bye.